34-31. Josh Allen threw for 352 yards and 3 touchdowns, but he also threw 2 interceptions and had 1 fumble, which was recovered for a Dolphins TD. I hope y'all can hear me at home. We got a heck of a crowd here. Meanwhile, last night the Bengals survived a tight battle against the Ravens. When Sam Hubbard returned Tyler Huntley's fumble 98 yards for a tie-breaking touchdown in the 4th quarter, helping the Bengals secure a 24-17 win. Ravens running back J.K. Dobbins not happy about not getting the ball in that crucial drive, and he went off after the game saying, "I believe I would have put it in the end zone again. I should be the guy." It's worth noting that both the Ravens and the Dolphins were without their starting quarterbacks. Of course, Lamar Jackson and Tua did not travel with their respective teams. Dan, I'm going to start with you here. Are the Bills and Bengals close calls concerning for you?
Oh, absolutely. Because the reality is the Super Bowl, both of these teams are capable of winning, or certainly have looked capable of winning. This past weekend, not. And both of them are kind of in the same world. So Buffalo right now, offensive line stinks. It's not a good unit right now. 20 pressures by the Dolphins yesterday, 7 sacks. And you could watch it kind of force Josh Allen to play in a very specific way. Josh is trying to be Superman, put on a hero cape. Every play he's trying to score like 3 touchdowns. So that's concerning. They can't run the football right now. And then their defense, Skylar Thompson yesterday dropped back on 3rd and 4th down to throw the football 16 times. 0 sacks. You know, and I think we forgot a little bit about the Von Miller loss, and it's starting to show itself really in these playoff games. So I'm concerned about the line of scrimmage for both sides for Buffalo. And then for Cincinnati, Cincinnati won a football game last night, and with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Hayden Hurst had 0 explosive plays. 0. The last time a team that did that in a playoff game won was 17 years ago. So, like, the reality of 3 out of the 5 starting offensive linemen out for Cincinnati. Joe's got to play so quick, get the ball in his hands. It's a little bit like how Tom has to play in Tampa Bay. You're sitting there going, can they go beat Kansas City? Can they really go beat Kansas City?
Yeah.
Can they go to the Super Bowl and beat San Francisco or Philadelphia? If those are the two, not with the way their line of scrimmage, with the way their line of scrimmage is playing. I'm concerned, Bob. They're both very good, but I don't feel Super Bowl good right now for either of those teams.
And I'm less concerned because I understand that these are division games, and that's what you get when you come back around. You're basically playing a team for the 3rd time. There is not going to be much of a blowout and much separation. You've seen everything that each team can give each other. This becomes just a great will battle. It's not so much of a skill battle. It becomes a great will battle, and they always come down just like this right here. No matter what the level of play has been all season long, when you get the playoffs, and that's why playoff football is so great.
Okay.
It didn't take Seattle to the end.
Well,
it didn't take San Francisco to the end.
Yeah, no, and we were
game.
just talking about that game, and that was the division game. And they played San Fran to the hill until even what the coach talked about when Deebo Samuel made that play and the guy held his ankle, the same bad ankle. They used that as a rally cry, like, okay, let's go and crush them. And they crushed them after that. But that was a tight game first.
Let me chime in. You sound insane.
What do you mean? Division
I don't want to
games are
hear.
tight.
Listen, I don't want to hear about a divisional playoff game when you got a 3rd-string quarterback going up against a proverbial favorite or prohibitive favorite for the Super Bowl in the Buffalo Bills. I don't want to hear that. I'm sorry. Skylar Thompson. Is that his name? I don't even remember. Skylar Thompson. Are you kidding me?
He played good.
And he held his own.
He played pretty well.
That's the concern.
Wait a minute, guys. I'm not denying that he played well. I'm saying if you're the Buffalo Bills, you were not supposed to allow that, okay? The fact of the matter is they got away by the skin of their teeth. That's number 1. Number 2, when you sit up there and you look at the Bengals, a legitimate argument could be made that Huntley, they should have lost that game. I mean, remember, you're tied at 17. You're about to go into the end zone.
Sure.
You can either kick a field goal or you score a touchdown. And by the way, J.K. Dobbins had every right to go off the way that he did. He was balling. All right, you didn't give him the ball in the red zone.
Yeah, but the quarterback scores if he doesn't go over the top.
Listen, I understand that, and that's true. John Harbaugh was right in saying that. The flip side to it, however, when you saw the way J.K. Dobbins was playing, like he said, it shouldn't have been in that position. Why would you not give me the ball? That's my job.
Right.
That's my job.
That's fair.
And he's right about that. And so when we look at it from that perspective, yeah, that's the difference. But when you at the division game, sorry, not a 3rd-string quarterback. I don't give a damn who it is. I don't expect a 3rd-string quarterback to a wide receiver to look like Michael Irvin. No. Absolutely
I
not.
thought it was going to be a blowout.
All right, can we talk about what was even more wild, and that was Jacksonville. Because when I was watching that game from the start, I'm like, it is going to be a rough day for Trevor Lawrence. And boy, was I wrong. He bounced back after.
Get the ball at all, really, when it really counted. I think J.K. Dobbins had a point there. But as it pertains to Lamar Jackson, listen, you're trying to negotiate a contract extension, and you don't even show up to cheer on your teammates. I've been listening to Ryan Clark, Dan Orlovsky, and various other NFL aficionados for years. That's something that's usually frowned upon. There's no excuse that he could not have been at that game rooting on his teammates. He seems to be a bit detached, and the Baltimore Ravens organization needs to do something, whether it's moving him and getting an incredible amount of assets in return for him, or thinking about what the future looks with John Harbaugh. I think all of that remains a question, but Baltimore played a hell of a game yesterday. They should have won the game, or at least it should have gone to overtime. That turnover with Huntley should not have happened, but nevertheless it did. And in the end, when we look at Lamar Jackson, these are your teammates. These are the guys you go on the field for and fight for, etc. You missed the last 5 games last season. You missed the last 5 games this year, plus the playoffs last year, plus the playoffs this year. And here you are not even showing up to support your teammates just days after revealing on Twitter what your medical condition was without going through the team to do it. There seems to be a flagrant detachment there. I think it's on purpose, and I think the evidence is there, the clues are there, and I think they might need to move on from him, or he may need to move on from them.
There's one more thing I want to mention. Stephen A. has been such a friend of the show. He's been integral in the success that we've had here. And tomorrow is a huge day for Stephen A. While we are all looking forward to today and tonight, tomorrow, Stephen A., the release of your book, which is called Straight Shooter, it'll be available everywhere. Just give people an idea of what it is that they can look forward to when they buy this.
Well, I've been through a lot in my life, Greeny, and, through the grace of God, a fantastic family and friends like yourself and everybody, Rex and Ryan Clark and Dan Orlovsky and all of my buddies at ESPN, male and female, along with a host of other people that have helped me throughout my career. I've been blessed through God's grace to be where I am today. And so just talking about how I got here, the path that I took, what I went through growing up, getting left back, having dyslexia, going through all the things that I've gone through in my career, controversies plus some. I talk about it all, and it's in the book, and I just want to thank everybody, all my friends, all my loved ones, my family members, of course. You guys, I love y'all to death, and I really appreciate the support. And so tomorrow, it's been long overdue. I held off on writing this for a decade. I promised my mom that I would never write it until she passed away. That was a promise, a vow that she made me make to her, and I kept that vow, but it was time to do it, so I finally did it through my family's blessing. And it's out, it's out everywhere tomorrow.
Wherever you would find your books. And I watched Stephen A. write this through an entire NBA season last year. I know how important this is to you. We are all behind you and looking forward to the release tomorrow. Again, Straight Shooter, anywhere you find your books. Have great shows today, my friend, and we'll see you later.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Stephen A. Smith. Again, First Take coming up 20 minutes here at the top of the hour. Meanwhile, as we continue, Daniel Jones, awesome in leading the Giants to their first playoff win in 11 years. Now he goes up against Jalen and the Eagles. Do the G-Men have a shot? We will discuss. Plus, here we go. Sneaky Hembo and Rex, the best matchup we have. Who's the only quarterback to throw 4 touchdown passes in a playoff game against Tom Brady? That's the question. The answer's next.
Be like sheesh, sunset on the beach. Make me wanna pull up on Miami with the heat.
It's not a pizza, it's a Melts, and for $6.99, it's just for you.
Invention is an act of determination to go where you couldn't before. Achieve goals that once felt out of reach. That's why Honda engineers didn't just redesign the Pilot Trail Sport. They built the most off-road capable Honda SUV ever. The all-new Pilot Trail Sport, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
People today, they could spend half their lives over 50, but it's gonna take some planning.
What can you do